What's going on, everybody? It's Ian with Getting Work Pod. The draft has started, round two. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are picking, and they are making the selection as we speak. Logan Hall from Houston is going to Tampa Bay. Sorry, as I was hopping on, they were just announcing the pick, so I had to jump right into it. I hope everybody's weekend is off to a great start. It is Friday, thank goodness. Things are going well. It's still draft night, as the draft will be going on it started yesterday, tonight, and of course tomorrow there'll be the draft as well. Rounds 2 and 3 are tonight. This is about as deep as I can usually go with the draft. After that, it's players I'd usually, unless they came like from Virginia or something like that, I would be able to know them. But it's an exciting time. Like I said yesterday, the draft is one of the holidays to me, as far as I'm concerned. It's a holiday. Everybody has hope. Every team has hope. It's always exciting. We just got to get that one guy, that one person. We have that chance to have somebody. If we get this pass rusher, then we'll be able to be back in the playoffs, or we can do this, we can do that, we can break through in the division, that type of thing. Everybody has that hope on draft night. So that's what makes it exciting. If you're a sports fan of any type, you can understand that. Even if you're not a sports fan, honestly, you can understand the excitement of something, that opportunity, hope springs eternal, right? So like I said, so Tampa Bay traded up to go get Logan Hall, and now this is going to be one of those tough nights to keep track of all the trades and moving around. So the Packers, there were a ton of trades last night. So Green Bay is selecting second. I'm not even going to update this until I know exactly for sure who's on the clock, because there's been so many changes and things like that happening through. All right, let's see here. So Tampa Bay, they got the first pick. Give me 1 second. Let me update the background here. The Packers are selecting next. And, all right, we got Green Bay. So Green Bay is on the clock. All right, so let's see here. We got them. Yeah, they're on the clock now. How's everybody's Friday going? Hope really well. A little excitement. Malik Willis is still out there. I am surprised that Malik Willis is still there. Well, I say surprised. Quarterbacks this year were always, quarterbacks in general in the draft are always usually overrated. This year they seem to be where they're supposed to be, as opposed to overrated. They seem to be, if they're second round picks, they're second round picks. No one's jumping up really high to try to go get them. All right, so we have, who is announcing? This guy has on, I can't see his face, so I can't see who it is. I've got it lower so it doesn't pick up on stream, so I'm trying to guess. Oh, it's Aaron Jones. I couldn't see his face. So Aaron Jones for the Green Bay Packers, their running back, is announcing their second round pick, but he has his giant sombrero. You definitely got to go check it out. Giant sombrero. And they are taking a wide receiver. Green Bay, Green Bay doesn't take a receiver in the first round. They are taking Christian Watson. So Christian Watson. Logan Hall was Tampa Bay. Christian Watson is the big tall wide receiver. He's a little over 6'4", 200. He is like the premier wide receiver. Honestly, I'm surprised he didn't go in the first round. He's just that big, lanky wide receiver, but has some weight to him. He's thin. He's 6'4", 210, 208 pounds, I think. So, he's not heavy by any stretch. But tons of talent. Aaron Rodgers got him. Yeah. Christian Watson might be somebody you definitely want to pick up in your fantasy league. So many wide receivers that are coming out this year that'll really be good fantasy players. That's going to be. So, yeah, so Logan Hall went first, defensive end from Tampa. Christian Watson, wide receiver. Here, let me actually put that. Logan Hall, defensive end. Yeah, that I had a feeling they were going to try to get him. They need a wide receiver. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. All right, so the Titans are on the clock now. There was, like I said, there were so many trades last night. Tennessee is picking here. So yeah, let's to be honest with you, I might want to just get rid of these altogether. We're going to get rid of these altogether just to make it a little cleaner, a little more obvious who's picking when. Yeah, because it's going to be tough to keep. It's going to be tough to keep track of everybody. To be honest with you. All right, well, here we go. Tennessee is up. Tennessee is picking. Who do they take? Billy White Shoes Johnson is he going to do the? Oh, he's going to do his dance. He's going to do his dance. So Billy White, he's a old. He's before my time, to be honest with you. Football player for the Houston Texans or Houston Oilers back then. All right, so Roger McCleary. Roger. Make sure I get his name spelled right here. So he's a cornerback out of Auburn. Yeah, he's a cornerback out of Auburn, just under 6 foot. Really, I mean, everybody at this point of the draft is you're getting drafted to the NFL. Of course, you're a good player. I'm a little surprised that more corners didn't go in the first round. There were two right off the top that were clearly head and shoulders above everybody. I'm still surprised that Booth hasn't been selected, to be honest. Booth from Clemson. A little bit of I mean, he's a ball hawker for sure. I am still surprised that I guess people view him more as a system type of corner. I always find that a little odd that somebody that produced as much as he did. All right, let's see here. Oh, so the Jets. All right, so the Jets trade up. The Jets make a trade. So now the Jets are on the clock. They've traded with the Giants, I believe we're picking here. So the JETSs are now selecting. So this will be interesting. I have to go and look up what the trade was. Give me just a moment. I said I heard it just as they were kind of closing out. Let's see. Leak Willis just keeps on dropping. You think the Giants are taking him? No, right? I mean, the Jets clearly aren't. They just took a quarterback last year. Are they coming up to get Sky Moore? Another wide receiver? Let's see. Let's see what they come up to get. This is the draft of all trades. I mean, there have been more trades in this draft than I can remember ever, to be honest with you. Probably not ever. Ever is a long time, but there has been a ton of trades. So the Jets make the trade up. They come up to 36. And I can't see what the trade was for yet. So give me just a minute. We'll see what the trade was for. Yeah, they're not saying what the trade was for. So basically, the Giants drop back. So it's the Jets, Houston, and then the Giants at 38. Those are the next 3 picks, at least as of right now. But you know how that goes. It could change 5 or 6 times before now and then. So it's Houston and then the Giants. How about the Giants draft last night? That was amazing. Outstanding. Got 2 of my top 4 players. The top guy, Kayvon Thibodeau. Quite frankly, I wanted to put Evan Neal. I almost put Evan Neal too. That would have been awesome. Didn't put him 2, but I should have. I should have gone with my gut. I had him as the second best. I was going between him and Icky. I was going back and forth. All right, JETSs. Let's see what you got. Jets had a heck of a first round too. Ahmad Gardner, Garrett Wilson, Jermaine Johnson. I mean, you got 3 picks in the first round, but you got maybe 3 of the top 10 players too. So Johnson, I'm still a lot of talent. I mean, tons of talent. I don't know that he's. We'll see. We'll see. But he dropped. I mean, he dropped like a rock last night. All right. So who is? Oh, Revis. Darrelle Revis Island for the JETSs. Coming out to announce him. Must be a corner, right? Gonna be a corner. No, they went running back. Breece Hall. Wow. Breece Hall, running back. First running back off the board. The Jets jump up to get him. Yeah, that makes sense now because Houston would have probably snagged him. So they had to get up ahead of Houston to go get Breece Hall. Top running back in the draft this year for sure. Just a shade under 6 feet. This is the time where I'm starting to think fantasy. I start thinking fantasy when it comes to this period. Because guys like this, these are the types that you want. You want these guys for your fantasy team. All right, let's see here. Adjust my. Here we go. What happened there? A little bit messed up with the feed. Sorry about that. Never a good idea to try to adjust your stream while streaming. That's always a little dicey. All right, so Houston is up. Houston Texans, they are up. They have not made a trade. It's always dicey. You never could tell. All right, Houston Texans select. So Jonathan Joseph, he comes out to announce for them. Jalen Petrie, he's a safety. Get his name here. Petrie's safety. P-I-T-R-E. Okay, yeah, it just looked a little strange. Excuse me. Oh yeah. So another safety. Safeties, their value has dropped just so much. I mean, he's a tackling machine. So he's everything you want in a safety. Maybe not quite the size, little smaller, but I mean, he ball hawks, solid tackler. You need a safety. I mean, the Giants, I'm sure, we're probably going to be looking at him too. All right, so the Falcons. Okay, see, this just keeps changing. So the Falcons are on the clock now. All right. Did they come up to get their quarterback? Did Atlanta come up to get their quarterback? Let's see. Did they come up to get him? They made another trade. So the Giants just keep sliding. I can't argue with it. I can't argue with it at all, to be honest with you. I like this. Especially because you don't drop back much. You always want to do that. Just drop like 2 spots, drop back 2 more spots, and just keep collecting. I'm going to be interested to see just how many, just what they have by this time, as far as draft picks. I want the Giants to get Nakobe Dean. That's the guy. I would like a Jabo, but I'm afraid of that injury. But Nakobe Dean, man, we haven't had a linebacker in ages. All right, Atlanta. Did Atlanta come up? Is this the Malik Willis time? Is this time for him to come? Is this it? Let's see. All right. Honestly, this would be really good. This would be I would say it'd be a really good place. It'd be a good spot for Malik Willis to go. I don't know if I don't know if he'll have the support system. This could be Michael Vick 2.0. Vick was just so dynamic. Brain of an ant, but the talent was undeniable. All right, so let's see. They say the pick is in. This is one thing that's really annoying, especially trying to when you try to stream, or you're just sitting here watching it. You're trying to watch. All you see is the pick is in, and it takes about 5 or 10 more minutes before you actually see who the pick is for. All right, so Atlanta has moved up. Tons of trades. I'm not. This might set the record for trades this year. I can't remember a season that there were this many trades. All right, so the pick is in. They're saying it in so many different fonts and different graphics. It's just all over the place. All right, so the Atlanta Falcons are up. They have a host of people. The Gatson family, they lost. They lost. I think it was their son. I couldn't quite hear it. One of our soldiers. So they're letting them. They're going to be doing the announcing of the pick, and so his family has come out to do the announcing of for the Atlanta Falcons. All right, so we will hear the pick here in just a second. Minerva. All right, so she is, I believe she's the mom. I think she's the mom. Oh, so they come up and get a defensive end. They did not go and get the quarterback. I fully expected the quarterback there. So they go get Arnold. Okay, I can't say his. I cannot say his last name. I apologize. It is Arnold EB. We're gonna spell it out. We're gonna write it. This is what we're gonna do. I'm not even gonna butcher his name. Haven't heard it. I've only seen it written. Ibakite, I think it is. I think that's his name. He's a heck of a pass rusher. Oh, almost 16. I think he has 16 sacks in his career. I'm surprised. Still no quarterback at this point. So the Giants have dropped back to 43 now, it looks like. So the Bears are on the clock. The Bears finally join the draft. The Bears finally joined the draft. They traded all of their draft picks. Let's see. So yeah, the Bears are on the clock now. I'm gonna do a quick pause for the cause, and I will be back shortly. All right. All right, I am back. So the Bears are about to pick. Matt Forte has come out to do the announcing of the selection. Like I said, the Bears are actually getting to join the draft here. So Kyler Gordon. Cornerback. Another corner. Seems to be the run on corners and secondary in general. Defense has led the charge so far coming out of. Of course, they did that last night too. Everybody's trying to reload up on their defense at this point. The first round was a lot like that too. The first round was the first. How many picks was? I gotta go take a look at that actually. How many picks was it before an offensive player actually got drafted? Because it was so the first round it was Trayvon Walker, Aiden Hutchinson, Derek Stingley, Sauce, Kayvon Thibodeau, KT, Ikem Ekwonu. Okay, so Ekwonu would have been the first offensive player at 6. So it was 2 offensive line, but first skill position was at 8 with Drake London. And so far today, it has been the Jets are the only the only ones that took an offensive player so far. So they took Bryce Hall. So Kyler Gordon, really good pass defender. Doesn't get a ton of interceptions. He's only got 2 interceptions on his career. Solid tackler, but he's a coverage guy. All right, so I was gonna say Seattle Supersonics. It's been a while for that. The Seahawks are on the board, on the clock rather. The pick is in. I want to say Seattle has back-to-back picks, if I remember correctly. I thought Seattle has 40 and 41. All right, so they have a selection. There's so many people on and off the stage at this point, it's hard to tell who is the draft. Is this the draftee? Is the person actually getting drafted? Is it? All right, so this is another one of those. The pick is in. It'll be interesting to see if they try to drag out their clock. So they got Charles Cross in the first round. Cross that's a big boy. I thought the Giants actually might take him, but they went Evan Neal. Cross is the supreme. He might be the best pass blocker in the draft this year, because that's all they do. But it'll be interesting to see. So they traded Russell Wilson for 3 players and 5 draft picks. That's crazy. That's. I mean, you can't argue with the value for a guy that wasn't going to be there anyhow. He was clearly leaving. Do they take his replacement here in one of these 2 picks? You almost have to, don't you? Has the Malik Willis draft hype been just that? Just hype? It's showing Desmond Ridder. All right, let's see. This is going to be interesting. Do they take? That'll be surprising. All right, so looks like they're about ready. They're zooming in toward the stage. All right, the commissioner is making and it's actually the commissioner doing the announcing. Boy Mafe. Oh, okay. So they got Boy Mafe from. He's a linebacker. Linebacker. I want to say it was Minnesota. Yep, Minnesota. Yeah, this guy, he's pass rusher. He's an edge really. They list him at linebacker. He's an edge guy, big time passer. Like he has all the moves. Problem with only downside of him, it's sort of all he's a. I hate to say one trick pony. The one I saw this described one time. It's a one trick pony, but it's a really good one trick. So he's not a huge run stopper. As long as you can probably teach that better than you can teach pass rushing skills, because pass rushing is such a feel and reactionary type of thing. It's much harder to teach those. So Seattle gets themselves. They got the offensive tackle and a guy to practice against them every day. Yeah, that's his family is excited, super excited. That's always find that cool. You can see everybody is very happy. As long as you can surround yourself with some good people, not a lot of moochers. All right, so Seattle's gonna go again. Oh, no quarterback. I swore they were going to go. They go Ken Walker. He's from Michigan State, Kenneth Walker. And technically he is the third. I mean, he's a workhorse. He's definitely they're looking to build their entire team out. I'll give it to them. They're going running back. They had trouble at run. Everybody was hurt. So he might be a guy, again, for those who play fantasy, might be somebody you want to keep an eye on. Definitely, yeah, you definitely going to have to keep an eye on him. Everybody else out there, Carson, all of their running backs got hurt last year. I'm not sure if Carson's going to come back. He had a neck issue. I always wondered if this guy has the burst. He's one of those, I don't know. He's one of those, he's just not. You see him on tape and you see him, he breaks out and you've seen guys that just give separation. They seem like they're just getting faster as they go down the field. He doesn't look like he is, but I mean, no one's catching him either. So sometimes you just need to be slightly faster than whoever's chasing you. But he's not one of those that gives where you just see him on the field and say, oh my goodness. I think Reggie Bush back in the day. I mean, Reggie Bush in the NFL was adequate, but not great. But in college, I mean, he was just all world. If he took off and got around the edge, it was over. Like, thank you all for playing. So it'll be interesting. All right, so the Colts are now on the clock. Giants picking after them. We're going to go through pick 50 on this stream, and then I'll probably pop on another time later on to follow up with the rest of it. All right, so looks like they got about 2.5 minutes left for the Colts before the Colts pick. And let me update my little graphic here. There we go. Gotta get better about that. I gotta get better about that updating the graphic. Hey, Jeremy. What's going on, buddy? All right, voice band. Here we go.
can't turn down the noise, say all the words out of my mind about who I'm supposed to be. I start to believe I can't get it right. Remember the days I let slip away, they were simpler times. Mama told me before you leave, if there's only one thing you remember from me, child, when you're out on your own, a million miles from home, feeling the weight of the world on your shoulders. Child, don't forget who you are, don't lose your head or your heart. I'll bet my life on your stars, you'll be dancing, dancing on the moon. I'll bet my life you'll be dancing on the moon. I'll bet my life you'll be dancing on the moon. I'll bet my life you'll be dancing on the moon. Dancing on the moon. Dancing on the moon. Maybe my compass was wrong, and I'm still on my way closer each day to where I belong. I'm still rolling the dice, praying sometimes it don't last that long. I'm losing my faith, I'm walking away from what you knew all along. Mama told me before you leave, if there's only one thing you remember from me, child, when you're out on your own, a million.
All right, so I am back. That was the voice band. Let me tell you, Jeremy got his money worth. So I was gonna do the voice band for one full pick, and you probably saw me just start cracking up laughing just a few minutes ago. First off, Andrew Booth Jr. from Clemson, he just got drafted. The funniest thing, so it's always the Vikings, right? It's the NFL draft. Something stupid with the Vikings and their picks is always going to happen. Back in the day, it was because they couldn't get their pick in on time. Now it's because the guy that they sent out there to to announce their pick proceeded to just have like a 5 to 10 minute discussion on the weather and the people out in the audience and his grandmom. And I mean, he went on so long. That's why I started cracking up laughing. He went on so long that the person, the TV person, the person with the headset that comes out and says, you know, okay, this person goes out, and this person, the traffic controller, basically, she comes out on stage and tells him, like, read the card. I'm gonna need you to read the card. He had talked for so long. I had never. Yeah, that's awesome. All right, so the Giants are picking. Finally, my New York Giants, NYG. Hopefully, it will not be the 30 minutes. Here we go, Miro. Oh, we go wide receiver. Wow, that's kind of surprised by that. All right, we wide receiver. Okay, I mean, you always need a wide receiver. Little surprised. I'm a little surprised. I'm a lot surprised, to be honest with you. They are trying to make these first names as long as possible to make it even more complicated to try to fill it out on here. All right. So Wendell Robinson, Wendell, with an apostrophe, from Kentucky, goes to the New York Football Giants. I mean, he's got 104. He had 104 receptions last. That's crazy. He transferred from Nebraska. Okay, so he was at a bigger school before. That is... Wow, okay. I'm a little surprised. I'm a little thrown with that one. I'm a little thrown with that one. But hey, we always need a wide receiver. You got to have somebody for Danny Boy to throw to. Hopefully we have some people to block for him this year. I'm a little surprised at the wide. I'm a bit surprised by him. As you can tell, usually the Giants picks out. First round, I was hyped. Oh my goodness. You got KT and Evan Neal. Heck yeah. Let's roll. Wendell Robinson. I gotta go look him up a little bit more. I don't know a ton about him. I've seen highlights and in rankings and stuff like that, but not like I watched a lot of Kentucky games by any stretch of the imagination. Really need to go and look at. There have been so many trades with this first round so far. So okay, and here's a perfect example. So first off, the Giants pick was up so quickly, back and forth so quick. And now the Texans, everybody's moving around. So the Texans are now on the clock. All right, so the Houston Texans are on the clock. Tons of trades. By the end of this, if it hasn't set the record already as far as trades go, I'll be stunned. I could have sworn that they've set the record. There's a trade every other pick. Yeah, Robinson's a small guy. He's one of the little scat, quick, shifty wide receivers. He's not the big lanky guy. I'm a little surprised by that. But basically, maybe the Giants are picking in case they need to get rid of their first rounder from last year if he doesn't grow up. It's always tough. We got all the new players, all the new front office and everything. So let's see. All right, so while that pick is waiting, I'm going to do a quick pause for the cause, and I will be right back. that they're actually good at all of this. That's always tough. So now the Ravens. The Ravens are on the clock. So John Mechie, the third, like I was saying, so Alabama, it's always tough to tell who. It's always tough to tell how good somebody is if there's so much talent around them. Sometimes they're asked to do this one thing, and it masks. It's sort of like North Carolina back in the day. North Carolina in basketball. It was hard to tell just how good or bad somebody was because there's just so much talent around them. They may have been asked to do this one thing instead of showing that they could do all these other things too. There is a ton of people still here. I keep having to say it, but it's true. All right, so a Jabo, that was, oh, that's painful. David Jabo blew out his Achilles while doing his pro day. So the Ravens, that would be a Ravens kind of guy. And he would be. They love those super athletes that they can just say, go get the quarterback. All right, so Baltimore, excuse me. Nakobe Dean is still out there. Jabo is still out there. That's all the just about all the. Well, I think only one quarterback's gone so far, right? Yeah, Kenny Pickett in the first round. So everyone else is still there. Matt Stover comes out to announce the old kicker for the Baltimore Ravens. They went and got a Jabo. Yeah, that is a Raven kind of pick. Jabo has he is an edge rusher. I should really put edge. That is technically what they are. He might have gone. He would probably gone in the top 15. He might have gone in the top 15 if he didn't blow out his Achilles during his pro day. That was hard to watch. So David Jabo, big time he flashed this year. He was just out of nowhere. He's still learning to play football. Completely still learning to play football. He hadn't played that many years. He didn't play growing up. But this year, he just exploded onto the scene. Some people say it's because Aiden Hutchinson was on the other side. I don't think that's true. Quite frankly, I'm not so sure that he won't be better than Aiden Hutchinson. You blow out your Achilles and you're athletic, it's always tough to tell will you be that same athlete. But if he is, and he's playing on just raw instinct right now. He hasn't really learned the position yet. If you can get that into him, especially with a year off, because he'll have basically a year off with that Achilles, where he can just sit and watch and learn. If he gets that down, he might be everything Hutchinson is and more. And if there's ever a place that knows how to get pass rushers, it's Baltimore, isn't it? They always have that one guy. Not even one guy. They have the waves of players that just come out. All right, so the Lions are on the clock right now. I say right now because I could look away and look back, and they have made a trade. All right. So Michael Key has come out to announce the Detroit Lions pick. I do have to laugh that everybody after the Minnesota guy that has come out has been quick about their picks. Read off the card. Don't have somebody come from the back and tell you. All right, so Josh Paschal, excuse me, from Kentucky. Kentucky is quietly building a much more solid program. You think Kentucky, like, okay, basketball. Their football team has had a lot of people drafted in the last few years. They're starting to build out there. So, hey, Detroit, they need every pass rusher. They need every defensive player they can find. Their defense is terrible. So, going and getting yourself another guy is they needed all of them. So he's going to get to play next to the number 2 pick on the draft, Aiden Hutchinson. He'll be able to play alongside him on the line. Not quite the athlete, more the run stopping. He has some pass rush ability. I haven't seen him a ton, but yeah, Detroit knows where their problem was. Their problem was on the defense in general, but D-line for sure. All right, so the Commanders, that's just weird. They're on the clock. I'm not sure that I don't. All right, so we're going to put up the Bears. We're going to say the Bears are on the we won't have that. I do not have the new logo. I apologize. I thought I had that one. All right, so the Bears are coming up. Washington is next. The Commanders. Yeah, their new logo is, well, hey, they had to do something, so they did. Not so sure the Washington football team wasn't going to stick. I mean, that was a good solid one. What did LeBron say? LeBron was like, how long was that meeting where they came up with that name? You know, there was an executive meeting that took way too long to come up with that name. All right, so Washington is picking. So it'll go Washington. At the moment, it's Washington, Chicago, New Orleans. Nowlands. Let's see. So just kind of catch up. Washington in the first round, they traded back. I think they were number 11 originally. They traded back and got Keon Green, big offensive guard tackle. He's a little bit of a tweener, improving that offensive line. So their defense is pretty solid. I mean, you still got Chase Young. I'm interested to see which way they go. Washington, I intentionally don't keep up with, their NFC East team, so. Try not to, aside from just wanting to beat them. Especially in the area that I live. I have to hear about the Commanders all the time. All right, so they say the pick is in. They're still in commercial, so we'll see where their pick is. I do like their so Subway has the draft picks. They're all the first rounders anyhow. I don't know if they're doing it in the second round. It's KT. So they have them in, and I'm sure this is going to be a commercial here not too long, so we'll be seeing it. They have them in these green and yellow jackets, Subway colors, and they're sitting there and they're, you know, signing the bread. They're signing the sandwiches that they have. All right, so Santana Moss comes out all decked out in new Washington Commander colors. They needed to do that so everybody would know what they were. Weirdly enough, they're the exact same colors. All right, so Mathis from Alabama. Again, Alabama just pumping out defensive players, or players in general, NFL players in general. So let's see. Mathis, big boy. That's big D tackle. Get that down there. Run stuffer, push the pocket. Everything that you want basically on the defensive tackle position. As Jared says, the sheriffs of the defense, the big sheriffs of the defense. Not a big pocket pusher. He doesn't push the pocket too much. He can get there if, you know, the miss block, that type of thing, but much more of a run stuffer. He's got some pass rush ability. They're showing a highlight where he gets a sack and a strip fumble. It's always funny when the big guys, the big either offensive lineman or defensive lineman that never touch the ball, get their hands on the ball. There's nothing but pure excitement and joy at that moment. They all have flashbacks to when they were in Little League and were probably a running back because nobody could tackle them. All right, so the Bears are on the clock now. The Bears have been a quiet draft for them since they traded most of their picks away to the Giants last year. So it's New Orleans, Nowlands, and KC at the moment. I stress at the moment because this has been a draft of trades. So many trades. All right, let's see here. The Saints ready to go. So the Bears, they say the pick is in for the Bears, but, you know, that means we have another 15 minutes at least. All right, so it's Washington, Chicago, New Orleans, and then KC. Make sure I have that listed right. The Bears took a corner earlier in the first round, or in the second round, rather. They got Kyler Gordon. So where do they go here? Wide receiver, maybe? O-line? That's right, I forgot they got rid of Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack isn't there anymore. All right, so he's got to be one of the kickers, right? Sean Evans for the Bears is coming out to announce the pick. All right. Safety. Jaquan Brisker. Safety. I mean, when you think of the Bears, you think of defense. So anytime they can roll out that next guy. I'm a little surprised they didn't go O-line. Little surprised. They may not just have that guy. someone listed up that high. But so Brisker is he's more of a a little bit more of a box safety. He tends to be up a little bit. Really good player. He can cover. I mean, I don't want to knock like he can't cover anybody because he actually is pretty good at covering as well. The safety position in general has just dropped so drastically. Guys that back in the day would have gone in the first round, just going in the second, sometimes third round and dropping. But clearly the Bears need to address their secondary because they went corner and safety with their first. This is their first 2 picks of the draft, so they clearly came in with a mission. And I keep saying this, all the quarterbacks aside from one are all still sitting there. Malik Willis, Sam Howell, Ritter, all still patiently waiting. Haven't heard their name yet. No one's traded up for him. Nakobe Dean. I forgot Nakobe Dean is still. Oh my goodness. Could he drop? Could the Giants still get him? That would be awesome. Wow, they're just letting so much talent still sitting there. So, New Orleans, the Saints, and the Chiefs right now are the next 2 picks. I'm going to stop after pick number 50 for a bit. All right. Actually, I'll do a quick pause for the cause and I'll be right back.
The night has come, it's cold and losing my control. Your light is gone, and lonely darkness fill my soul. I wish that you could save me from my isolation. It's way too complicated. Let's stop this conversation. Let's stop this conversation. We got no relation. Night has come,
All right. So the Saints pick is in. Who's coming out to announce them? Got a couple guys out here. Let's see. Malik Willis? Is it Malik Willis' chance? All right, so Cameron Jordan. Cameron Jordan. Wow. Safety. Safeties are just flying off the board. This is the round of secondary. Alontae Taylor. Alontae Taylor. Am I spelling that right now? Safety out of Tennessee. I mean, the man can cover. Ball hawker. Solid tackler. He's a safety, right? Really solid tackler. You can't get angry at that. I'm still. This is the draft of the non-quarterbacks. Everybody's basically trying to load up, I guess, for next year. So the Saints went wide receiver, tackle, offensive tackle, and Trevor Penning, Chris Olave in the first round. And now they go Taylor, safety, for the Tennessee Volunteers with pick number 49. So Kansas City is on the clock. The Chefs. No, the Chiefs. That always cracked me up. That commercial back in the day, there was this guy. Anyone that doesn't know what that commercial was, well, I call them the Chefs. Basically, it was this guy. He was going through and he was painting the field. It was supposed to spell Chiefs, and he spelled Chefs in the end zone. Was it a Snickers commercial? I think it was like he was hungry and was tired. It was a Snickers commercial. I can't remember, to be honest with you. I remember that part of it. I don't remember what they were trying to sell. All right, so Kansas City. Round 2 got kicked off. Tampa Bay jumping up to the top to go get Logan Hall. Green Bay finally got their wide receiver, Christian Watson. Roger McCreary went to Tennessee. The JETSs went with the first running back on the board with Bryce Hall. Jalen Petrie, safety. Again, this is going to be a lot of safeties and corners pretty much this entire... Oh, there's a trade. There is a trade. I told you, they don't hanging around. So Kansas City has traded with the... Where are they? The Pats. The Patriots. So now the Patriots jump up. They had a weird first round pick. They picked a guy that I'm not sure anybody really had listed in or near the first round. It was strange. You know what his name is. His last name's Strange. It's a bad pun. So, New England jumps up here, and it says the pick is in. Let's see who they... Wide receiver? They've got the quarterback. Give him some weapons. O-line. What are we thinking? Their wide receivers were not great. Jacoby Myers. Oh, yeah. Kendrick Bourne and Nelson Aguilar. Yeah, that's pretty rough. It's got to be wide receiver, right? They're showing the stat of wide receiver right now. But you know, it's Bill Belichick. Just because everybody else thinks he's supposed to do something, that just doesn't happen. Always liked Belichick. Everybody hates him. I know he's not warm and fuzzy. He's got those giant roots, so. Yeah, they went Cole Strange, so they got the offensive guard. Mac Jones was their #1 pick last year. He had a good solid career, He had a good solid first season. Really good first season, actually, not just solid. They had 0 players with the 100-yard receiving game. That explains why I didn't start any wide receivers ever from New England last year. What happened to Wes Welker and Randy Moss? All those guys. Aside from getting old, I know they just got old, but still. All right, so here we go. Are they going to head up? They are taking their sweet time for somebody that made a trade up. So you knew who they wanted to get. Obviously, they had the person in mind. So the Patriots. Who do they have coming out? Lawrence Guy, D-tackle. Is this a Make-A-Wish? He has a young guy with him, too. It's not as animated as the Giants, the one from last night. You get a chance, go and look at the New York Giants' first pick where they drafted Kayvon Thibodeau. That fan, he was a Make-A-Wish kid. It was awesome for him. Really happy for him. But man, he was hyped. He was so hyped up. He might have been more hyped than KT, honestly. He really might have been. All right. So he's clearly making a joke or something. I would have to go back and hear this because I had to watch this back to see what he said there. Well, they got a wide receiver. They definitely needed one. Thornton out of Baylor. Taekwon, rather. They needed a wide receiver. I mean, boy, do they need a wide receiver. They really needed a wide receiver. No question. All right, so here, let me get that squared away over here. He definitely, I don't think it could have been anybody else, right? They need a wide receiver. If there was ever a team that needed one, it's these guys. No wide receiver. They had nobody over 100 yards last year. That's hard to believe. That is really hard to believe. All right, let's see here. So the Patriots made the pick. Give me 1 second. I will fix the graphic here just so we can see everything. Apologize about that. Sometimes they work out exactly like they're supposed to. Other times, not so much. But we will have it set up either way. All right, so here is the final. The final one. We'll slide this over. Apologize about that. I didn't get this part set up as well as I thought I had. We'll slide it over. Draft results. Logan Hall to Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay. Green Bay went Christian Watson. Tennessee went Roger McCleary. Jets went Bryce Hall, first running back off the board. Houston went safety with Patriots. Atlanta got the super pass rusher. Arnold. Oh man, I mess up his name every time I say it, so I'm not gonna butcher his name on it. So the Bears with their first pick of the draft went Kyler Gordon, followed it up not too much later with Brisker from another safety. So they clearly went secondary in this draft. Seattle went linebacker, running back to back with Maffei and Walker III from Michigan State. Minnesota went with Andrew Booth, the second cornerback out of Clemson. The Giants went wide receiver, the scat, quick, small wide receiver. So I'm telling you, I don't know if their number one pick last year is going to be long for being in a Giants uniform. So anyhow, the Giants went Robinson, wide receiver. Then Houston jumped in. They went Michi the third, wide receiver. Baltimore went with a Baltimore pick, a Ravens pick if there was a Ravens pick. David Jabo, super athlete, blew out that Achilles in his practice. That was rough. Poshkel, from Detroit. Or not from Detroit, but it went to Detroit. Washington went with Mathis, a big D tackle, trying to show up that defensive line, let those pass rushers run like they can. Told you Chicago had gone with safety with their second pick. New Orleans went with safety and Lante Taylor. And then the final pick that we just saw was the New England Patriots jumping up to get a wide receiver. So that's it. That's where I'm going to stop for now. That's the top 50 picks. Round 2 is still going. The Eagles are on the clock. So we will stop there. Hope everybody keeps going. I'll pop in later on. It will kind of keep the draft coverage going. Otherwise, I hope everybody has a great weekend. Enjoy it. It's Friday. Have yourself a drink. Have yourself a nice time out. And until then, this is Getting Work signing off. Later, fam.